Welcome back, Jeleah Squad. Thank you for watching this channel again, you guys. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the subscribers. Yeah, let's get into this video. Tell you all my labor and delivery story. I just pretty much, it was more in, just more straight to the point. I didn't really have like no overlay, no false alarms. I was in labor for like 30 hours. That's not short, but at least I didn't get no tricks played on me. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Starting from November 14th is when I had one of my dilation checks. That's the week before Thanksgiving. I went to my doctor's appointment, the regular blood pressure, weight check, height check, all that other stuff. They went to go check my cervix. I'm not dilated. I'm pretty pissed because I'm 36 weeks pregnant, and I was not dilated at all. Now, mind you, I told my doctor if she does not come by the 12th, which was my due date, December 12th was my due date. If she does not come by the 12th, I want to be induced. Simple as that. I don't want to go over. I don't want to be 42 weeks where my baby's looking like a damn elephant. Or weigh as an elephant. Well, she wouldn't weigh as an elephant, but I over exaggerated. But y'all get the point. Thanksgiving Day comes around, we're eating, we're having a good old time because all of us were here today. All of us were here that day, and it was fine. Like, school was done at least by like 2 o'clock, probably earlier than that. 1 second. November 21st came around. I'm still not dilated, so I'm like, so is she gonna be a December baby or not? Like, maybe she'll come on the 1st. Maybe she'll come on the 3rd. Maybe she'll come on the 5th. I don't care. I just want my baby here. I was just like, so I'm not dilated. I'm getting a little anxious because it's just like, what is my body doing? Why is she not? Why am I not opening up? Like, and I had just turned 37 weeks on that Wednesday, and I just was not dilated at all. So of course I am out with my mom helping cooking, pretty much up until like 12 o'clock at night cooking, which wasn't an issue because we wasn't doing nothing anyway. But we just cooking for Thanksgiving. The day comes around, we're eating, we're having a good old time because all of us were here today. All of us were here that day, and it was fine. Like, school was done at least by like 2 o'clock, probably earlier than that. 1 second. My baby was crying. But anyway, we were pretty much done cooking. So we get, our food. We're all sitting down at a dining room table that we never eat at. It's so funny. We ate there for the first time. Sat there, we eating, we talking, and that was just pretty much it. We was going to a friend's house later on that day, and it was around like 6, maybe 7 o'clock when we went. Maybe like 5. It was like 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock when we went. And we went over there for like a good couple of hours. Me and my sister decided that we were going to leave because we was like getting a little bored and tired. And I was just like, okay, well, we can go. So we get home around 8 o'clock, like 8, yeah, like 7:45, 8 o'clock. And we decided, all right, we're gonna get some of this food now. All the other kids come in here and attack it, and it'll be gone within like a day, because technically all the food was pretty much gone throughout the weekend, which was so depressing because I only got 2 plates. But after we ate, me and my sister were supposed to watch a movie. We didn't watch a movie. She went upstairs and she left me downstairs. I went and watched the movie, and I fell asleep on the couch. Now, when I woke up, I started having immediate contractions, and I really think what woke me up was the contractions. So I was having contractions, and I'm just like, I haven't been having contractions all day. Why am I having them now? And it was just so, like, surprising to me that I was having them because I wasn't having them all day. So my mom and my dad and my brothers and my sisters came home around maybe 9-ish, like 9:15-ish. And I told my mom, like, I'm having contractions and stuff like that. Like, I turn into a big baby when I'm in pain. So she automatically knew, like, she's like, what's wrong? And I was just like having contractions. Like, I'm trying to breathe through it. And she's like, you gotta breathe. And I was just like, I'm breathing. Because I don't know what to expect with this. So I'm like on the ball. I'm on the like, it's like a labor ball. It's an exercise ball, but I used it as a labor ball. But she was like, just try to rock back and forth on it, just move around so that you don't get into too much pain. So she was like, are you timing it? And I'm like, no. Because I was just not timing it at all. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to time it. I lost all, like, train of thought when all that was going down. So she started timing it and realized that it was 2 to 4 minutes apart. That my contractions were 2 to 4 minutes apart. And she was just like, well, we would say you're in active labor. She said, but did it start out 2 to 4 minutes apart? And I'm like, yeah, it did. It started out 2 to 4 minutes apart. And, like, I don't know what to do. She's like, okay, well, when you're ready to go to the hospital, we'll go to the hospital. So we didn't go to the hospital until, like, 11 o'clock that night. We get there, they, sign us in and stuff like that. They sitting here trying to ask me questions. I'm not, like, with it. I'm just like, look, I'm in pain. I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm in pain. So they put me on a monitor, and they realized that all my contractions were 2 to 4 minutes apart. I was having strong ones, but they get stronger. So they, was going up to, like, it's, 50s and 60s at one point. And I didn't know they'd go even. I just mentioned if my service wasn't changing within an hour, I would have to go home. And it did not change, so we went home around 3:30, maybe 3:45. It took us 20 minutes to get home. We get all the way home. I felt like my contractions picked up. Like, they were, like, nonstop. Like, I didn't get no type of break. Even though they were already 2 to 4 minutes apart, I felt like they were continuously at this point. So this particular night, my mom says, well, my water in my bathtub is not warming up. So she was like, okay, let's, get in the bathtub and, try to calm your contractions down. So she's running up and down the stairs with boiling water just to dump in the tub because it wasn't getting hot. I sat in the bathtub for an hour. I went to sleep, tried to get some sleep and everything. And we sitting there in the triage, and they're just like, okay, well, we're gonna check your dilation. They went to check, and even though I've been getting dilation checks for only 2 weeks, it still hurts. Like, it really hurts. And even the first time when I got dilation checked, I was like, oh, like, what are y'all doing down there? Like, y'all sticking your whole fingers. It feel like somebody's sticking their whole hand up your vagina. It is not comfortable at all. And I was just, like, so uncomfortable. And they kept doing it when I was having a contraction. And they're like, just hold still, blah, blah, blah. No, don't stick your hands on my vagina when I'm having a contraction, because it hurts more when you are trying to check for something. So we, sitting there, and they're like, well, you're 2 centimeters. I'm like, oh, wow, only 2? Like, only 2? The residents, he was training, and the midwife had to come in and tell him exactly what to do, which was crazy. So he's sticking his finger up my vagina, and he has extremely large fingers, which I feel like that should not even be permitted, because that shit hurt. So and then the midwife, she comes in, and she's just extremely moody and disrespectful, and she's so quick to tell my mom that she needs to step out, but has yet to even introduce herself before she's sticking her hand on my vagina. So it was just a bad experience. in the morning time with the shift change, because my nurses from the night before was really nice. So it was frustrating, but I was still 2 centimeters, and they were like, "We still trying to send you home," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "I'm not going home. Not going home." Later, she wakes up and she's like, how do you feel?" And I'm like, "I'm okay now. Like, I'm a little calm." So she's like, "Okay." So I decided to use the bathroom. I used the bathroom, and I seen a bunch of blood. It was like clots, and it was just so much blood. Like, you probably think I was bleeding out by that time. So we go and get ready to go to the hospital. She's like, "We're taking all our bags this time." She said, "Because there's no guarantee that they're gonna send you home with all this blood that you're having." So I was like, "Okay, hey, calm down." So I literally was just like, "All right, well, let's get this on the road, because I think it's going to happen tonight." They were going to have a baby tonight. So we get all the way back, and of course it's a shift change. But I had a resident and a midwife. And the midwife was a bitch. Of course, my mom, she steps in, and she's just like, "We feel disrespected, this, and that. Like, we don't even feel wanted here." And that's exactly how it was. I was like, "Why are you making all this noise right now? What's the problem? You don't even know who I'm talking to. But you don't have to do all of that to me right now. I'm trying to record this video." Okay? Anyway, so this is what you're doing? I just want to record the video. That's it. So I don't even know where I left off at. Of course, my mom, she steps in, and she's just like, "We feel disrespected, this, and that. Like, we don't even feel wanted here." And that's exactly how it was. I was like, "Why are you making all this noise right now? What's the problem? You don't even know who I'm talking to. But you don't have to do all of that to me right now. I'm trying to record this video." Okay? Anyway, so this is what you're doing? I just want to record the video. That's it. So I don't even know where I left off at. Last time in time, they went to check my cervix again. I was 4 centimeters. So now I'm like excited now, because it's like, okay, I'm staying. And I already said I wasn't going home. So they get us to our room, and my nurse, she was like amazing. Like, I was so happy with my nurse. But my contractions became very much stronger than what they were before. So my mom and my nurse are both trying to convince me to, get the epidural and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm just weigh it out for right now. I believe I can go without the epidural. I go to the bathroom, and I went to, use the bathroom and wipe, and I still felt moist. So I called my mom in the bathroom, and I was just like, I still, I feel really moist. So she's like, "Maybe your water broke." So of course I go back out, out into the room, and my nurse, I told her what happened, and she's like, "Okay, all right, well, we'll check." So they went to go check, and there it was. My water broke, and I was 5 centimeters by that time. So it's like, seemed like my cervix was dilating more, frequently now. So they're like, every time I got a contraction, I was like in unbearable pain. So they're like still trying to convince me. So they call the guy in, and he comes in, and they're like, "Are you sure that you want this, blah blah blah?" So I'm like, "All right, I'll get it, because y'all saying it's gonna get worse. I feel like I can do it, but I'll get it just because." So I was getting ready to get the epidural, and the guy stuck me, and I cried. I literally cried. Like, I'm not even scared of needles, but I cried because I didn't even want the thing, and I realized how, like, it was like a pinch. It may have been a pinch, but while having a contraction and trying to get the epidural at the same time was not the ideal plan. It just was not the ideal plan. So I, was really upset about it, and for the simple fact that he had stuck me once and did the test run, and he didn't get a blood return. Now, when you get a blood return, it means that the medicine is actually in your blood vein or in your vessel, and he didn't get it back until after he test run it. So I'm upset now because now he got to do it over. So this was only supposed to be a 10-minute process, and it ended up being a whole 20-minute process. So I'm sitting at the edge of my bed having contractions back to back and getting stuck in my back. Painful. And once he finished, he was just like, "Are you okay?" Blah blah. And I was just like, "Don't talk to me. Like, I don't want to talk to you right now." After that, I had something, I don't even know what it's called, but I was able to control how much medicine I was getting. So I got that. I only pressed it one time because that pain it was one point in time where that pain was getting really strong. And I believe I was like 6, maybe 7 centimeters at that one time. So the doctor come in, she's checking, and she's like, "Oh, the baby's head is like right here." They couldn't pick up like the monitor, couldn't monitor anymore. I had to get oxygen. I don't want to say it was a lot, but they couldn't pick her up. So they had to do an internal monitor on her head, because they could not get, her heart rate and anything like that. So I went to go check again, and she said, "Oh, well, her head is right here." And me, I'm like sitting there, like I could still feel everything. I could feel my legs, I could feel my hoo-ha. Okay, like I still wanted to feel everything, and that's exactly what I got. So I'm like sitting there, and I'm just like, well, I feel pain on my right side. And I was like, she's coming. Like, she's coming. And I feel her head, and that's all I kept saying was, "I feel her head, I feel her head." So they come back in, the doctor come back in, and she's just like, "Yeah, well, you're right, her head is right here." So like at first her head was very much like crowning, and then at one point in time her head was just like coming out. So they're trying to break down the bed, they calling everybody in, they getting the baby's side, ready and stuff, and I'm just like sitting there like, okay, like what am I supposed to do? And then they come to a point where they was just like, "All right, you can push now." So I'm gonna push, and I really inhaled and I exhaled, and she was out. Like, she was coming out on her own, and I just felt like my body was doing that by itself. I didn't push her out at all. And I was fine. Like, I didn't tear or anything, and she was out, and then my mom was like on my side, my dad was standing behind me and crying. And it was like a really like good experience. But the only thing that scared everyone was that I was hemorrhaging. My uterus wasn't clamping down, and I was pretty much bleeding out. And it was like time and time like pass over, and they were like calling the OR and was like, "Prep the OR," and stuff like that. And this is all from like what I know from what my mom has told me, because I pretty much was passing out, and I was like extremely cold, and it was just terrible. Her father didn't get there until 5 minutes later. Once they got my uterus to clamp down, everything was okay. Like, everything was okay. Even though I was hemorrhaging, we still did skin to skin. She, we still bonded. And that was just one of the main parts I really wanted. Now, with her father coming like 5 minutes later, I didn't want him like there. I just was just like, back the hell up. Like, I'm trying to feed her, and I don't want him like right here next to me. He's looking, and I'm just like, go away. Of course I'm not gonna say nothing because this is like a precious moment right now, but I'm just like, get the hell away from me, get away. But once we got to postpartum and everything was pretty much fine. Like, she was all that I needed. So she was born November 23rd at 4:46 p.m. She was 6 pounds 8.2 ounces, and she's here now, and I pretty much feel like I've grown since she's been here, and it's been like an amazing experience to actually experience what being a mom is about. Or even though this is like beginning stages, and she'll actually be 2 months tomorrow, which I'm gonna cry because I cried when she was a week old. I cried when she turned a month old. I'm just like, she's growing entirely too fast, and the weeks are going by extremely fast with that. But I think she's made me grow into a beautiful person. Even though I was already a beautiful person, I'm now like a beautiful mom now. Like, I'm actually a mom, and I value that to the extreme, and she's all I have to live for. Like, I'm doing everything impossible for her. Not even just for myself anymore. It's more just for her, because I have. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Also hit that bell so you all get my next notification. And thank you all for watching. Bye.